Getting started soon. Oh, I hear that countdown. It's time.
It's time. All right,
We see some stick
comes out
spin.
from Firestorm.
A little bit of plug.
Both of them are gonna tank. Tiki knows better than to send to a C-spin. And Firestorm's actually gonna be the less patient player here. I wasn't expecting to see that.
Yeah, me neither. But Firestorm gets that first back-to-back advantage, the -10 appearing on Tiki's board. Firestorm says the 24 spike. Tiki sends breaks, leaves some cheese onto Firestorm's board, and gets pressured up to the top with an L misdrop being what seals his fate.
Yeah, right there, Tiki was just a victim of their own hesitations. Any opportunity they would have had was mitigated by the amount of time they had just given Firestorm to keep on that pressure. And Firestorm actually has a lot of wells here, but they know better. They know how to play the bigger game. And they're trying to prioritize sending that cheese when possible. But right now they're staring down an 8 surge deficit. How they're gonna manage that, we're about to find out.
Ooh, a really nice eye spin from Tiki to get into the well. But here we hear the ding of the 43 spike coming out from Tiki. Brings us to 1-1.
King of Death, indeed. Now, Tiki is one of the more all-spin versatile players in this game, so I would not be surprised if we see more insane surges coming out from them specifically. We're already seeing Tiki start to cook. Firestorm not too far behind, but they are getting relatively outpaced. It's definitely going to be up to who has a better board state when the smoke clears. Both firing at roughly the same time, but they're both close to the floor, so gonna keep it neutral. That sequence from Tiki is outlandish. And they are able to recognize the eye spin there. This is a masterclass of all spin, and there's more where that came from.
Firestorm up at the top. There's the eye piece to get out. Tiki trying to eye spin that there, not finding the eye spin. More all spins coming out from Tiki, forced to break now. Ooh, Firestorm with the misdrop there. Forced to break. Both players kind of taking their time to think for a sec.
And Tiki's at it again. Getting that shapey shape ready. And Tiki just has such a massive well here.
Yeah, that well can be used so effectively here as Firestorm just has cheese, but everything looking fine, and Tiki's now the one with cheese on the board. All spins coming out from Firestorm here. Really nice fix. Tiki with the mini spike there, but it's not really going to find its way over to Firestorm's board.
Both players do have a surge active, but Firestorm misdrops at a pretty bad time. They at least have a few wells, but accessing them is going to be the problem. Finds a first, but there's nothing clean left. And the surge will continue to build.
And there is that ding from Tiki's side as that back-to-back advantage is only growing.
36 comes out.
Just not survivable. Tiki finding that timing there. And we have a question from chat. What is a shapey shape?
So shapey shape is essentially a 2x2 hole with an overhang. So it ends up resulting in S or Z spin single into the opposing piece double. That is what I've deemed as shapey shape. It's very
I didn't think
cool.
you would actually have a technical answer for that. I'm very impressed. Anyways, Tiki misdrops and forces the early break. I don't know what I expected from you, but I just, for some reason, didn't expect it to be that specific.
It is a specific shapey shape.
Okay, I will start working that into my vocabulary right now. Tiki struggling with that spin. Finally finds it and continues on with their life. But Firestorm is over here in this 7-2 LST, moves it over to the other side for this LST, and is even given that 2-7 well as she's continuing on with this very powerful stack.
And Firestorm's gonna be the one with the surge lead this time. They're gonna get to the well. They have the follow-up ready. But Tiki is already at the well. And we're gonna see mutual surges from these players, but Tiki's gonna be the one to hit the jets. Continuing this surge at the floor. And that outpace is ridiculous. Look how fast that surge is climbing. And of course, there is more where that came from.
But Firestorm's keeping the board clean, getting ready to accept this. Here it comes in. There's the spike, and Firestorm stays alive.
Just casually eats a 37. Mutual surges comes out once more. Both players have significant amounts of cheese on their board. Both players fire at the same time. We're back to neutral. Firestorm looking to compound this advantage. But these hesitations are giving Tiki the time they need to climb.
Yeah, Firestorm with this -12 on the board, but the well access is there, forces Tiki to break. Ends up relatively even. Firestorm with a masterclass of defense going on right here. That macro game is so well played right now as more all spins come out from Firestorm, building up that back-to-back. Tiki breaks. Firestorm continuing to build that right now.
And they're coming from floor, which means they have the offensive tank capability. And that's exactly what we see. Tied up at 2.
PCO stack from Firestorm. Is that just a mech heart setup? You thought that was a center 4 wide. I thought that was a center 4 wide. Many people thought that was a center 4 wide, but none
Tiki
of that
better.
so far.
Tiki knows better. 30 spike comes out from Firestorm. Tiki's able to find the quad down stack. Firestorm has a surge lead. Tiki fires first. It is going to force the break from Firestorm. And even though Tiki has so much material, they're not able to actually access it. So Firestorm's just gonna run away with that point and take the lead. Yes, the center 4 wide did already happen. About 4 times, to be exact.
And only one of them worked, so well below 50% success rate for center 4 wide in case any of the players are listening and want to try their luck.
I mean, when it comes to Worlds, a lot of the players fall under the never tell me the odds mindset, so maybe you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, you know what? So true. Maybe I shouldn't have. And Tiki's board is looking really messy. That's a lot of cheese. Firestorm continuing to pressure, finds the point there, getting a little bit of a lead. I mean, I see this being close, but can we...
Oh, for sure.
There's only one way to make it closer than last set, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Alright, Tiki with that slight outpace in the surge. And Firestorm has all of this clean and ready. Unfortunately, that's just a huge dependency waiting to be resolved. Tiki sends over 19. Gonna force a break on Firestorm's side. And Tiki's gonna be doing their floor all-spin shenanigans. "34 of pure sustain comes out from Tiki. Firestorm was ready for it, but not the follow-up.
And Tiki just finding enough pressure there. Firestorm's defense has been so good today. Tiki knows that in order to find these points, they just have to pressure more than before. You just have to find a way to find more damage here. That's what Tiki needs, and that's what he found in that last point. Firestorm with the back-to-back advantage here, continuing to build that up.
Not able to find a count to 4 that's safe. They're just gonna break it, not gonna get greedy. Firestorm knows better. But now they're gonna be on the receiving end of equal value. TP's misdrop from Tiki, that's gonna force their own surge break, and Firestorm's gonna take the advantage right back, sends the 25. No well in sight. The 2-point lead is returned to Firestorm.
PCO stack versus this stick spin here. Firestorm going for a lot of stick spin tonight. I'm not entirely surprised. Many 6-spin variants are really popular openers in this season too. Neither player really having that back-to-back right now. Firestorm with that entirely self-built 6-3 stack, but there's the garbage that comes in, and Tiki's up at the top.
Yeah, just not able to deal with those repeated forecasts that Firestorm is just able to keep piping through. And Firestorm has successfully doubled the score of Tiki. Very significant lead, looking to try and hold this momentum.
Very nice Imperial Cross setup from Firestorm there, but Tiki with the 27 spike, the pressure. Firestorm doesn't have the pieces for the out. Tiki keeping this close.
Alright, Tiki wants to send 0 damage. Definitely one of the Season 2 staples. Send nothing and keep charging. But it's not going to work out too well against somebody who can pressure as well as Firestorm. They are still able to maintain the advantage, though very briefly. And the C-spin's going to come out from Tiki.
Love that C-spin there to pressure out, and Firestorm's up the top.
And even though it didn't find the kill, I really liked that surge break from Tiki. Saw how high on the board Firestorm was and went for that kill. And they're actually able to cycle another one. Firestorm's going to be playing on the extreme back foot. Another 26 coming out from Tiki. Ooh. What a disaster from Firestorm! But the next eyepiece is too far.
Yeah, Firestorm almost had that out there, but Tiki yet again just finding enough damage, enough pressure to top out Firestorm, who's misdropped her opener. And a really nice cleanup there.
Yeah, to be able to play on this stage, I've said it time and time again, you gotta be like Plankton. Plans A through Z, and counting. Always have an out. You love to see it. Oh, misdrop comes out from Firestorm. Very nice fix. Ends up just being a donated S-spin double.
Small spike there from Firestorm.
And can we talk about how many eyes was put on the side on Tiki's side? There's no way you get away with this, right?
Chat in shambles over no 6-7 scoreline here.
The streak is over. And Firestorm's gonna have the C-spin extremely delayed, sending over 33.
Oh, Tiki with the
ready, but oh. And Firestorm has that 9-to-5 clockwork lead. Looking for better. And ooh, this opener from Tiki, it looks so pretty. They have so much more follow-up. Has the count ready. But they're not able to maintain the surge advantage that they love to see. Able to downstack to 41 of pure sustain.
That out there from
Firestorm their
Firestorm.
best.
That out there from Firestorm was great. That J misrotate there. Firestorm missed the 180 on that, and that is what gave Tiki that point.
It's always heartbreaking to be in such a nice survival situation and then killed not by your opponent, but by your own, not necessarily hubris, but mistakes.
Oh, for sure. Tiki with the 20 spike forces Firestorm to break.
And none of it's going to be sent over to Tiki. They are going to have to worry about the follow-up, but they make the Force Surge, so that's going to be cancel material.
Firestorm fighting back-to-back yet again. Both players building up that back-to-back. Tiki with some really fast all-spins here.
And you see them hitting the chest the moment they get to floor.
Firestorm breaks. Board's not looking great. She puts the eyepiece over the well, and that is going to be the point for Tiki.
Watching Tiki speed up at the floor is always so cool. Just like, yeah, this is my domain, good luck. And Firestorm not even gonna try to plonk the C-spin here. Gonna use it all as cancels. As a 30 spike of pure sustain, Tiki's able to find the first well, looking for the second. And there's gonna be no kill threats anytime soon.
Firestorm breaks. Tiki up at the top. Tiki has the pieces to get down, but there's a hole in the stack there. Finds the way out. There's the eyepiece. Firestorm building up this pressure. But Tiki has clean wells. They have a clean board. They know exactly what they need to do. The -10 appears on his board, but he continues on stacking. Firestorm breaks. Tiki with a little bit of cheese on the board. Firestorm with that miss drop there finds a nice fix out of it, but puts some cheese on Tiki's board in the process.
That cheese is what Firestorm's been looking for this whole time. Over the course of this entire round, their plans have culminated for this one moment. Will it kill? Yes, it does.
Firestorm on set point. Firestorm looking to get the early lead in this best of 3 sets. Will she get it, or will Tiki close this out? Come back. That's a really cheesy board from Firestorm right now. That is not what you want to see on your down stack. And the 20 spike comes through from Tiki, but Firestorm is getting through this right now. Firestorm gets into the well. Tiki up at the top. Tiki has well access though.
How, through all of that cheese, do you find the material to get out of that situation? If Tiki had ran out of pressure, that could have been a generational survival. But there's just always more where that came from in Worlds.
If you've ever wanted a reason to grind cheese race, there it is right there. That is the use case for it. Firestorm displaying it so well right there. Tiki at the top breaking. Firestorm also breaking with the 21 spike. Tiki's board not looking amazing, but there's the eye pieces to get down. And you know who doesn't have the pieces is Firestorm, who built up that floating with no overhang and no fill over on the right side of the stack.
I think one interesting thing is how both of these players play cheese so differently. Firestorm's always looking through either the most efficient downstack or just the fastest downstack. There is no real in-between with them, but Tiki has almost that Warlock sense, but it's not going to work too well for them in this situation. That's a set for Firestorm.
Wow, and Firestorm finds a fast final point right there. And Wait, both players already typed GLHF in chat. Guys, I don't think we're gonna see a break.
We're not seeing a break.
I think that's code for no break.
Veterans, we already know. They know what's up.
Let's see. Yeah, they're both typing yes. There's another GLHF in chat. All right, we're being efficient.
They've got the momentum.
We're being fast. Great. All right, there's that countdown. Let's go.
It begins. It's time for set 2.
They are being efficient with their time. We appreciate that. Firestorm starting off with an early misdrop, though. Some all spins to fix.
But now they're gonna be at that surge disadvantage, not what you want to see against Tiki. Their pressure is going to force Tiki to break. But all that does is result in them having so much cheese. Ooh. Luckily, they don't even have to get there because their overpressure is just so good.
Stick spin from Firestorm.
Tiki
not finding the all spins they want.
They are gonna get it off. And this is the kind of routes that speed is able to let you access. Such an important tool.
Ooh, nice all spins from Tiki to keep this going. Love the eye spin there, but Firestorm is finding that back-to-back as well, staying in this 9-0 stack.
And Firestorm is one for the offensive tanks. We saw it right there. And they're actually starting to catch up on the surge. Tiki's not able to find their way to the floor. Firestorm, once again, offensive tanks. Gonna send most of it uninterrupted.
And that's a clean well that Firestorm has right now.
33 down stack. And it's time for the volatility of this game to just start to skyrocket.
Oh, absolutely. And this is a clean sequence from Firestorm as Tiki has a misdrop.
All right, Tiki's gonna maximize their floor time. And Firestorm has a clean well, but it's all gonna be in column 9. Not that useful. They're gonna have to find alternative solutions. They're gonna look for the fastest down stack here.
And this is some really clean well transferring on Firestorm's side, but Tiki has the all spins. Tiki's at the top, not looking to be in a great spot, but gets that well access and a couple of misdrops on the side, but those misdrops are actually very workable, and that's exactly what Tiki's going to do. Clearing them without breaking back to back is insane.
And they had more, but they miscounted the height on their overhang. So their surge is going to break. And what is that overhang? What?
Yeah, no, that's not real. None of this. I've decided none of this is real. How can you be playing like this? The misdrop on the side there from Tiki is going to slow them down, but there's the eyepiece, and what was that sequence from Tiki? That was unreal.
Like, I'm personally an all-spin connoisseur, so I see things like that, and I just have to call it out. Like, what did I even witness? But unfortunately, style points don't equal real points. Firestorm's actually running away with it right now. 3-0 lead.
Yeah, this is definitely the biggest lead we've seen so far at the beginning of a set. Firestorm trying to take that momentum with her with some really nice LST stacking right now, but Tiki has that well access, trying to keep his board clean. That minus 20 growing.
Oh, Firestorm's oh my goodness, I was terrified.
She was looking for a PC. She was looking for a PC. But
Firestorm is one of the players that has like some of the best freestyle like PC vision in this entire game, especially in the versus scene. Not able to leverage that, but still able to get the point. Yo, I think that's an omen. We might see some of that in this set.
LST from Tiki's side. Firestorm thinking.
Firestorm loves the offensive tanks. And Tiki's doing a bit of mech shape. Tiki makes Tiki a 4-surge threshold. That's gonna cheese up Firestorm a little bit.
Yeah, for
Gonna
sure.
give them some more time to make it to the floor. This is exactly what they're looking for. How long can they leverage this for? Unfortunately, they have the STSD on the wrong side.
Ooh, Firestorm with a misdrop here. She gets into the well, but Tiki has the back-to-back going. He's looking to continue building that up, and there's some nice all spins along the way. There's a break from Tiki with some cheese on Firestorm's board, but Firestorm has not broken yet. There's the break from Firestorm. That brings the cheese onto Tiki's board, but Tiki has the 21 spike while getting through this. Players keeping this close.
Down stack combo after down stack combo, really just trading blows here. And Tiki tanked a little bit too high. Not able to spawn their next piece, and Firestorm is actually just running away with the lead. Sweet pace 5-0.
If you're Tiki, this is where you start getting nervous, because Firestorm with a 5-0 lead is not something that any player wants to be up against.
Definitely not. And Firestorm just able to forecast 3 T-spins at the same time, casually. Her vision is so cool.
Somebody in chat said Brazil pace a little while ago. Wonder if that's going to manifest.
Banger. Oh, they know.
A little bit of plonking with that mech.
He's not sending the C-spin. Firestorm's going to be impatient here. Oh, Firestorm looking for multiplier. The eyepiece one too far. That could have even been a kill shot. But Tiki lives to another encounter.
Firestorm all spinning their way through this stack. The minus 11 appearing on Tiki's board with that misdrop is just going to be the end of it.
Yo, I think that was a fate on Firestorm's side. They set up an STSD and then just broke out of it. So if Tiki was screen watching, they expected time and just didn't get it. Oh. I was not expecting to see fates here. God dang!
Tiki getting that back-to-back advantage right now, and some really nice spins to keep this going. Firestorm has the combo down stack, though. Tiki looking like they might have to break soon, but the count to 4 is there. There comes the break. Firestorm has to accept this cheese, starts down stacking through it, and Tiki is eye spinning over on the other side.
Tiki loves their eye spins. We're gonna see mutual surges from the players. Tiki with the lead. But Firestorm has an offensive take. They have the follow-up to boot. And that's just gonna be an instant top out from Tiki. No time to react. And Firestorm is actually on sweet pace. Trying to end it right here.
Yeah, this is wild to see, but definitely a momentum type game.
Breaking that Firestorm momentum's a task that any stacking veteran knows is extremely hard. And that is just straight up secret grade on Firestorm's board. How are they going to get through that?
Yeah, they are just going to break, get into that well before trying to build again. And Firestorm covers the well, but gets back into it. Tiki looking to pressure right now. Getting more all spins going.
Tiki's looking for the compounding advantage. Eyepiece misdrop. Immediately going to flip the script.
Ooh, Firestorm with the misdrop on that Z piece there, but she gets out of it relatively quickly. Both players breaking. Firestorm up at the top.
Firestorm's not in any immediate danger. The follow-up's looking a little scary. But Firestorm's fine for the moment.
She's really taking her time to think about how to get out of this right here, and it worked out really well for her. She found the correct down stack right there to stay alive. Can she find it again as both players end up at the top again?
Yes, she can.
Ooh, that misdrop there is going to turn this into what looks like a TSC tower.
Okay. I
was wondering if she was going to take it. Yeah, it did really look like she wanted to.
You know she thought of it.
She did.
You know that was a thought in her mind.
Absolutely. Eye spin from Tiki. Tiki maybe just going for that giant surge for the win, but Firestorm trying to pressure him out of it. Tiki breaks and finds the point. Put your brooms away. No sweep here.
The broom is gone. And Firestorm actually put themselves in the best spot possible to receive that. They were able to get to the sub 20 threshold to where they don't insta top out, but they had a little bit of overstack that forced them to die there. Quite unfortunate. But that's exactly what Tiki was looking for.
Ooh, Tiki with the miss rotate on the T-spin. Yeah, okay, there's the out. There's the eyepiece. More all spins on the way down from Tiki. Love these all spins. There's the break. Break from both sides.
Firestorm doing a little bit of mech shape here. Gonna bring this into that 5-4. Deciding against the count to 4, trying to get the immediate cheese onto Tiki's board, but Tiki had to cancel already. And they're not gonna be forced to break this surge for at least another encounter. There it is. Firestorm makes the 4th threshold. They're gonna use it. Trying to cheese up Tiki. And we're just seeing the surges fly left and right. No one able to keep a clear advantage. But this might be Firestorm's way in here. They have the C-spin. Gonna decide against it, a little bit too risky for their liking. And oh no! The misdrop chain on Tiki's side.
That chain miss drop was so sad. Just the stairway to heaven that ends Tiki's round.
And Tiki is probably in the most precarious situation possible. They have to take 10 points almost in a row against Firestorm. It's lock in or lock off.
Firestorm is just all spinning for her life over here. Oh! That's such good timing there from Firestorm. Definitely screen watching over there, realizing that that is the time to rip it like a Beyblade. And we are at 10-1 right now. Match point for Firestorm.
Well, Firestorm's looking to get the ultimate Brazil here. But I'm not sure if Tiki's gonna allow that. Tiki's got the forecast on deck, unfortunately not able to find the correct height for their C-spin. Tiki, very nice all-spins. He's able to live the 25, but that surge is forced. No player in any immediate danger. Trying to find the thresholds.
Ooh, Tiki with some more cool all spins here. And I spin in the middle of that
What a
too.
transfer. Amazing count to 4 into forecast from Tiki. This is what they're looking for, but Firestorm is in such a clean board state, so even this 20 surge by itself isn't going to be enough. The follow-up's gonna have to be legendary. 34 spike brings it up to 40. Ultra Brazil denied.
The 40 spike finds the kill there from Tiki, but unfortunately, Tiki would need 9 more in a row right now, and against Firestorm, that is all but impossible.
When it comes to the mental here, it's definitely easier said than done, but you gotta take it with the mentality of first take one, then take another. Cannot focus on the grand scheme of things here, you simply don't have the time to. And Firestorm, once again, just setting up so many forecasts at the same time. Well, they definitely don't have the time to actually go through all of them. They're very nice to identify, they need the bail. All clear comes out from Tiki, and they're able to maintain their surge advantage. I'm not sure how much longer they're able to keep it, though. Firestorm is gonna force that break. And we're gonna return to no kill threat in sight.
Both players break at the same time, end up at the bottom of the board.
Tiki's at the floor, they're building a slight mech shape. Looking for the 7-2 continuation. Very nice well transfer here. But Firestorm's not too far behind in the surge department. And they have the column 7, so you know the follow-up's gonna be elite if they can find it. 33 down stack. It's gonna at least force the surge break from Tiki. But the round is ongoing.
Firestorm plonking a little bit here.
They know the drill. Offensive tank comes out from Tiki. Are they actually allowed to make that maneuver, though? Very nice cycling. The defense is immaculate, but now Firestorm's gonna be the one at the floor. And they're gonna give Tiki a taste of their own medicine. Will he survive?
Firestorm breaks. Tiki being pushed up to the top. The pressure comes through, the follow-up comes through, and Firestorm finds the win in an 11-2. Definitely the opposite of what we saw in that first set, but GG's, well played, and wow, the momentum from Firestorm there was just immaculate.
That is a certified download complete moment. They took that first set, they said, yeah, I got it, and then just